Hello once again. So this one's very interesting. EA to buy Codemasters for $1.2 billion. Well, that's rather a lot of money, isn't it? Now, so Codemasters. Now, I wonder why EA wants Codemasters, or why are they buying Codemasters? Yeah, they can smell money here. They can smell money. And I can tell you why. EA has some of the most, as we could say, exclusive licenses, like the FIFA license. Probably a majority of American sports, they've probably got the license to make games. Now I can see why they want Codemasters. Formula 1. Yes, because Codemasters currently have the Formula 1 license to make their games. Yeah. I think that Codemasters acquires other licenses for other sporting events. Not so high up as Formula 1, but I think they do. And obviously they got their own series of games. So 1.2 billion, yes, that's a lot of money, isn't it? One of the nice British software houses that I really remember that I'm quite fond of. Yeah, when I think of Codemasters, I think of my Amstrad CPC 464 back in the day, and I'll always remember this logo. As you can see it on camera. Codemasters. That's what I remember. Yeah, and some of the games. I remember the first game I ever brought. I think it was BMX Simulator. I think they were founded by the Darling brothers. I can't remember their first names now. I can't remember. Yeah, Darling brothers. I think they used to work for Mastertronic. Yeah, I remember buying a lot of their games. And it was a budget. Software house as well at that time. $2.99 a game, couldn't go wrong. And as I said, the majority of their games are pretty good. I really enjoyed them. And obviously they had Dizzy franchises. Dizzy franchise at first by the Oliver twins. Yes, a lot I remember about Codemasters. Obviously, when I went to the it was more for 8-bit computers back then. Yes, I know they did do some 16-bit stuff as well, but it was more at that time for the 8-bit era until like the 90s, and they obviously evolved into making games for the Amiga, making games for the future consoles like PlayStation. I mean, they've done the TOCA games, the touring car games. They've done quite a lot. Micro Machines, that was another one. Brilliant game. They evolved from there. And EA, what do I know about EA? Well, that wasn't until like the Amiga days, that when I bought my Commodore Amiga, that's when I started knowing about Electronic Arts. Obviously, F-18 Interceptor, I think. What else? I've done quite a lot of games, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. But it ain't one of them distinctive companies that I remember fondly, like Codemasters. Obviously, I remember Codemasters, because I used to buy a lot of their games because they were budget titles. But we know that EA are very money, and I don't like gaming of today. Really, it's all these DLCs and add-ons and crap like that, and microtransactions, and that's just pathetic. Okay, if you're a modern gamer, you might think, okay, yeah, what did you do when you was... We didn't have none of that. You bought the game and you got it, that's it. You got the game, loaded it up, that's it, you got it. I think there was sometimes you could buy add-ons, not add-ons, not downloadable content, because we didn't have that back in the day. Wasn't no internet, but add-on discs and add-on, so I think it was like things like Test Drive. I know it weren't by EA, but things like that where you can buy extra cars and stuff. That was about it, but that was your option if you wanted to. But now we got DLCs and microtransactions to buy upgrades for your game. What the fuck's the point? Yeah, this is why I just not interested in modern gaming no more. Well, no more. I wasn't really interested. Only a selective amount of games. I mean, the most modern game I played was probably Grand Theft Auto 5. Obviously, Wreckfest. I just don't have time and just don't interest me, modern gaming. Yeah, but as I said, Codemasters, I bought this Grand Prix Simulator for my Amstrad CPC. Yes, I'm quite aware this is a Commodore 64 tape. ATV Simulator was another one I had for my Amstrad CPC. Grand Prix Simulator 2 was another one. Then they released the Quattro packs. Obviously, later in the day, they had all these budget titles on one tape, and I think it was about $2.99. You got 4 games. Brilliant. And I know they did I think it was a plus range they had, where the games were about $4.99, where like professional BMX simulator and professional jet ski simulator, where it was in a double, the bigger size, and you get 2 tapes in it, so you basically get like more levels and things like that. I had BMX simulator, professional BMX simulator. I also had BMX simulator. I think that was the first Codemasters game I got, was BMX simulator, and I know about Grand Prix simulator. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, but EA, I didn't start to know about EA until like my Commodore Amiga days, and it's not a company that I knew particularly well. But yeah, I've heard reputations about EA today, and I'm just thinking, well, yeah, we know they want the F1 license, so they can, be the biggest the biggest software company out there. Probably that's what they're trying to aim for, so they can see 1.2 billion. How much are they going to make back? So we're going to see EA Sports is in the game. F1, I can see that happening. Will the quality be the same? Who knows? Just have to wait and find out, won't we? Yeah. So, one of these great software companies back in the 80s, the 90s. I mean, everyone's going to have a story to tell about Codemasters. I think, the 90s, the PlayStation times, soccer, a lot of great games out then, and beyond that, Me, it'll always be Codemasters. The 80s, when we got that, where was it? That original logo. Every time I think of Codemasters, I think of that logo. Always strikes out. Yeah, always strikes out as Codemasters. Yeah, and then obviously you've got to modernise, haven't you? Yeah, so EA to me, it's not one of those companies that I really care for, but I don't know, I always had something that's great about Codemasters. Not every single game was great, but that's the same with all software companies, to be honest with you. But there was just something about Codemasters I really liked. Anyway, tell me what you think about Codemasters. Leave them in the comments, do what you want. Anyway, going to end this now. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, and goodbye.